That's the yellow CUDA. And the duster's in the garage here. The orange duster's in the garage here. Oh, yeah.
And emails.
So, okay, it's 6 o'clock. Call this meeting with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you all for coming. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from September 15th, 2025 meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion for the approval of September 2025 expenses?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second that.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there any correspondence?
No, sir.
Okay. New business, motion to approve or deny the Fifth Amendment Perry Highway Hose Company funding agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Are there any questions?
What is the amendment, Tim?
It's an increase of $104,000 a year.
Or how many years? Was the
For
agreement
this year.
just for this year? And so what does that make the total we are paying them? Do you know?
1.104.
6,
What's that?
2026. correct?
Yeah, going into 2026. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve or deny expenses for attendance at 2025 Cato Convention for elected and appointed officials.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to schedule budget work session for October 16th at 9 a.m.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Land development, Tammy?
I'll have nothing.
Tim?
Nothing.
Matthew?
So we submitted our MS4 annual report on September 30th. We'll get some more information at the public input session, which will probably be the first meeting in November. Working on finalizing playground equipment with the 2 remaining manufacturers for the picnic camp playground. Once we get that all nailed down and some cost estimates, we'll have that in front of you for your consideration. We're hoping to be able to buy the equipment before the end of the fiscal year so we can avoid the price increase. And then I was looking into PennDOT Design Manual 13. They have a chapter on traffic calming, which includes guidance, flow charts, engineering study templates. It would probably be a good idea to kind of adopt that as our traffic calming procedures for the township, since it's already there and vetted. I don't know if we need to do a resolution to that effect, or if we can just do it.
To go out for the traffic calming?
Like if someone requests like a speed hump or some kind of traffic calming, they use PennDOT guidance as the guidance of the township to determine whether it's necessary or not. Because before that, they always said that the township should have.
I'd like a motion to that effect, just so that we can document it, so that if somebody comes in and says, well, what is the documentation you're using? You're not accused of coming up with some random,
Yes.
well, I was using the North Dakota standard yesterday. Tomorrow's Ohio.
Okay. So we could have that for the next meeting.
That'd be great to have that for next meeting. I think that would be appropriate.
All right. And that's all I have for tonight. Thanks.
Jack?
Not too much. We're having an unusually nice fall, September and October for starters. Loving the weather myself. When it gets full, we still gotta prepare for winter, because you know what we could be in for. Thank you, that's all.
Tony?
Things are going well. Baseball field number 1 has got quite a facelift in short order. They erected 2 new dugouts, poured some concrete pads for the bleachers and for the box that holds all the gonna be home plate where it's Dura Edge, not Rock City, we truck that ourselves. The field is material. The field one was really good. Also did free. Well, the guys really chanced it out there. I mean, just going there. That looks really nice. Everything else is winding down. The Canada's only got a rental left. See it.
We fired the paver back up, we're doing Old Branch Road, picking up the cross slopes as road's really steep from the center line to the ditch, so, pretty much running 0 down the yellow line and upwards of 3 inches on the edge to reestablish a 2% cross on that road. A lot of people just get sucked off the road and into the ditches, so, we'll be back at it again, hopefully tomorrow, whether they're calling for some rain, but we'll see what happens there. We finished, back mowing all of our roads. We rent the John Deere back mower for 2 weeks, and it works out just about perfect to get everything done that we need to. Storm sewer on Mitchell Street is complete, and landscape, and Salmon, Mitchell's, yeah. So we got that completed, and like Tony was saying, and Jack, it won't be long before we got to start getting the trucks ready for plowing and so on. Public input. Yes, sir.
I'm here to speak about Lions Club and the senior center and the money that the casino gave. For some reason, I don't know who is running that money, but in the account it's in, it could be invested. And I guess 2 people at the senior center don't want it invested. It could be making money on its own with millions of dollars that PA Lions has that is on route to make about 27% this year.
Well, I know one thing, when we were talking about putting this covering at the end of the building over the porch, they were under the impression that they were gonna have to spend the balance of that money on that themselves, and I don't know what that
There's
is.
over $30,000 in there still. There.
So, in the 20s, they only started out with 31, and they bought that out, and they were down in the lower 20s
Okay.
as of late. But they said, well, do we tie, because it was gonna get tied up, and they were afraid of tying it up and then having to cough it up. So I think once that was figured out, that's not the case, and then they certainly would do something like that. But I think, Steve, there's only like 22 left, 21, maybe.
Yeah, 27% a year on that's pretty
Well,
good.
I know, but if they had to spend it all in the next 2 months, I guess.
Right. We're not wondering.
We're a little bit behind schedule with this covering on porch, whatever we call it. We gotta go, or we're trying to get it go. We don't have a number yet, but
Okay.
they originally had said, we'll pay for it, because they were asking for it, but I'm not sure that's even the right thing to do in our building, but that was the thought process.
Okay, I was just wondering.
That's okay, no, and if it's not the case, then yeah, we should revisit the high interest deal, see what the deal is, thanks for paying attention to that, I do know. Okay, thank you.
And thank you for your, continued funding of the fire department. Without it, we couldn't keep the doors open.
Thanks for what you guys do. Without that, we wouldn't have anything.
That's all I have, thank you.
Yes, Bob.
Yeah, I just I presented here 3 months ago and have talked about it a couple of times, 3 different issues. I guess I'm wondering, first of all, about Robert's Rules of Order and what old business is, and there has never been any mention of these 3 issues that I brought up specifically during a follow-up meeting. The first being, I guess we're basically done with my address, but that was an issue that I've come up with, was where West should show up on Town Hall Road West or West Town Hall. It goes both ways. Everybody doesn't know, nobody knows the answer. It's totally confusing, but there isn't a clear answer to it. I mean, we spent over an hour in your office going through it. I've done a lot of different things. I came across some things today that had me down at Town Hall Road West. And so that is still confusing. The second one was looking for a report of employees, follow up their duties, their work. It was suggested back in the spring of the year that basically a one form thing would go out where it say, what do you do and what do you hope to do? And then when they have a fall employment review and their salary is determined. Also, it could be something that the auditors could frankly use with the supervisors, because that's the only position that an auditor has, is to determine the pay rate of the supervisors. I'd like to know what you've done and what you plan on doing, why we should give you 3%, why we should give you 8%, or whatever. We're just gone with the flow in the past. And I think it would be very helpful for specifically the auditors to know that, and for you as an employer, either here in the building or down in the garage, to be talking to somebody regardless if they're mowing a lawn, and just a general question, not a 16-page report, not something that's done every 30 days or whatever, but just a review. I think it makes sense for a business. The third thing I brought up was, and I never really had clear explanation of it, but I asked for 3 audits, and I got the audits only, not the reports. And then I found out later you were deciding as the board not to give the reports.
The one vote, it's investigative information.
Right, but I guess my one question I had, because I've gone over the audits, and why did we get charged twice as much money in the most recent year than we did the 2 previous years for the audit? I think that as a township resident, and especially as an auditor, I should be able to see that report, why it's so much more. It was twice as much money in 2005 than it was the 2 previous years. Why did it double in cost in the most recent year to be able to get that audit? I want to know what that audit says. And basically, I think that should be done. It should be clear to the township too. Now you're saying, oh, this, it's privacy. That's fine. You could say that. You sent me a letter, and I know that you did see. I did review that. I haven't discussed it at all with you, but I do think, just looking it over specifically, we can have questions on every single item in here, and I'd like to see what we as the township paid the auditing firm to come in, and they gave a formal report, and they charged us over $25,000 for that report, but it's not able to be viewed by the general public or anybody. I mean, the fact that I'm an auditor doesn't make any difference to anybody, except I could go down to the meeting in Edinburgh with you guys. It doesn't really but I'd still like to do it, and I'm prepared to, and the legal firm has told me I need to file a Freedom of Information Act notice or whatever, and I will do that. I'm not gunning for anybody, I've said this repeatedly, I'm not going after somebody or something. It's like, but why was it so much money? What did they say? What was their report? They were off for a year, they came back the third year, and they had a lot to say. We don't know it.
Yeah, right, and that was BBB.
Right, and that BBB would have the price of the go for our, we weren't exactly, that's why we went back there to MVP.
Mr. Welka, is it appropriate to say that the price for the engagement for the audit is set before they even start?
Yeah, we got it,
We put out an RFP and we received quotes from different auditing firms. And MPB did not quote the first time, so we went with Busick, Barker, and Cleo. And then it was a 3-year engagement. And then we put out an RFP the third year, and MPB did bid on it that time or propose. And again, it was a 3-year engagement. Every 3 years, we put out a request for proposal, and yes, the price is set prior to engaging the auditor.
That's just what I wanted to get cleared up, because I didn't want people to think that the price of the audit was reflective of any, more work that they had to do or anything that they had found or whatnot. That's just, that's not right. So the pricing is set pursuant to the RFP, sometimes years before they even do the audit.
is that done at the reorganizational meeting?
You appoint them at the reorg meeting.
Right.
However, they, last year in 2024, when they submitted the RFP, they gave us a price for 25, 26, and 27. So we have a price for 26, and we have a price for 27. It's not based on what they find, it's based on the amounts, because I needed to state the amounts in our accounts. You're auditing, $5 million or $10 million, whatever the case will be, and that's how they set their price.
And so basically that their price doubled was the pricing. In other words, they took care of the township in 22 and in 24.
No, McGill, Power, and Bell did the audit prior. In 21, 22, and 23, it was Buger.
Using
No.
Harder and Black.
Yes, them. Because they submitted, McGill, Power, and Bell did not submit a proposal in 2020. So in 21, 22, 23, we had BBB, and they named their price for 20, 21, 22, 21, 22, 23. And so we knew how much we were going to pay them each year for the 3 consecutive years. In 23, we put out another request for proposal, an RFP, and MPB, McGill, Power, and Bell, did quote that time. And that's how they were brought in for 24, 25, they will do 25 next year, and they'll do 26 and 27, and we already know what we're going to pay them prior to engaging with them.
So that's the reason why the 2 previous years showed roughly $12K for the auditing fee, and then it doubled.
Yeah.
Sounds like everybody's fee went up.
Yeah, and
And it's a locked number. I didn't know that.
Sounds like everybody's fee went up and they just still took the cheapest one with everybody's fee doubled.
I don't know what it was.
yeah,
Not that it matters, but these accountants, the last couple of years have had trouble just like everybody else. They can't find people to work for them.
Right.
Some of them aren't even bid work because there's only so much they can do.
so Another thing too, Mr. Lee, on that topic, Monahan and Monahan used to do municipal audits. They do not anymore. Felix and Gleckler sold out. They do not do municipal audits. So the number of firms that do municipal audits, I believe there is a municipality in Erie County that has a Pittsburgh firm because they couldn't find anybody in Erie to do their audit.
I have many clients that are Pittsburgh firms.
Yeah, I mean, it's the market, unfortunately.
Okay. Well,
Anything
I didn't know much of that, and I guess that does answer it.
Jim, did you have anything?
On playground stuff, did we get any money? I think it was last week or possibly the week before, Brenton Davis was on and said that he was giving out quite a bit of money to parks and municipalities. Did we get anything for it? We can.
Do you want to answer?
Well, I got a call from Jeff Cooper. He put us down for, $200,000 for,
100.
oh, I'm sorry, different projects.
Oh,
Did he give us 100 toward, yeah, he gave 100
the
toward.
playground's for 100,000.
Yeah, and 200 toward the Hershey Waterline project. He put us down for it, but I don't know if we're gonna get it, that.
Yeah, so
When's
right.
at the end of the month?
Well, I just looked at the county's YouTube page. They had a finance meeting on October 2nd, and it's still taping. So basically, we were shortlisted on a group of probably a dozen or so parks projects, and it's been tabled due to all the legal issues they're having between the council and it was tabled by the council, but it's tabled because of the legal issue between county council and the county executive.
So did anybody get any money?
No.
Okay.
So we're still waiting and
So everybody's still waiting because council's suing Brenton and Brenton's suing council.
yeah, basically.
See, he doesn't say that on the news. They all handed out, I want to say it was in excess of $1 million, but he didn't say to who and how much to who.
Yeah,
And
We're
well,
working on it, though.
Okay, thank you.
Have you guys started that project yet? You haven't done anything? Have you-
no, we're still in preliminary stages.
You've been in touch with the Lions Club again?
We have not since we've gotten the award.
Anything handicap accessible, Lions Club will match you 50%. You
Good
put
to
up 50, they'll put up 50, no question that. They've got millions of dollars they're begging to give away, nobody ever wants it. So if you meet with Bob and Janet Mitchell, that's their division. Why you haven't started anything yet? If you already started, then they won't want anything to do with it.
Okay, well, we can swing. A few things are handicapped.
I guess they talked to you once,
Yeah, we talked to whenever you're applying.
but, okay. I mean, then if you want, probably all the mat you wanna put down for handicap accessible and the swings you want, I mean, they'll pay for 50% all of that.
So, yeah, once we get some hard numbers, we'll get in touch with them.
All right, just throwing that out.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Steve.
You know, you go to Bob Mitchell.
Janet and Bob are north, right?
What?
Janet and Bob are the go-to for that deal.
Yeah, Janet has one, is in charge of one state committee and Bob's in charge of the other. I don't know what committee you can get money from, but
Yeah. Yeah.
if you put up $200,000, they'll put up $100,000.
we did.
50% match.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
No, we need to get Bob involved for sure. Yeah. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.